If you're a man over 60, I need you to really focus, because what I'm about to share could drastically change how you feel about your body, energy, and your masculinity. For years, I've seen men attribute their age, family history, or past choices to the slow, steady decline in their sexual performance. But what if the real problem is sitting right on your plate? The truth is, most men over 60 are unknowingly diminishing their erections every single day. Not because of bad habits, but due to lack of nutrients, and it's costing them the power, confidence, and intimacy they once had. You don't need another prescription. You don't have to accept decline as your new reality. The answer could be as simple as 5 vegetables, backed by science, shown to improve blood flow, boost natural testosterone, and restore strong, lasting erections in men over 60. In just a moment, I'll walk you through each one, what to eat, how it works, and when to use it. Be sure to stick around until the end, because I'll reveal the most powerful vegetables to consume before bed. So stay with me, because what I'm about to share could be the turning point between quietly fading or confidently rising into the best phase of your life. The first vegetable might already be in your fridge, and it's more potent than you think. Before we dive into the vegetables that can transform your health, make sure to hit that subscribe button and activate the notification bell if you haven't yet. I share practical advice specifically for men over 60, and I don't want you to miss what's coming next. If this topic resonates with you, just type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0, and let me know what you'd like to hear more about. Your feedback helps me to help you better. Now, let's get to the core of it. These aren't exotic superfoods or costly supplements, just real, everyday vegetables you can find at your local store. But when used properly, they can have a huge effect on blood flow, hormone balance, and your ability to perform like you once did. Let's start with the first, and perhaps most overlooked vegetable that could naturally and safely help restore your erection strength. Vegetable 1, beets, the natural blood flow booster. I'll never forget the day one of my longtime patients, a retired school principal named Alan, walked into my office. He was 68 at the time, proud, confident, but there was a sadness in his eyes. He leaned in and said, "Doc, everything else in my life is fine, but down there, it's like something's gone numb. I'm eating healthy, I walk every morning, but when it's time to be intimate, nothing works like it used to." That moment stayed with me because I've heard it from hundreds of men like Alan, men who did everything right and still found themselves quietly losing a part of themselves they once took for granted. I told Alan the same thing I'm going to tell you now. It's not about age, it's about circulation. Erections, after all, are all about blood flow, and for many men over 60, the issue isn't desire, it's the plumbing. If blood can't circulate properly through your arteries, it simply won't reach the penis in the volume or pressure needed for a firm erection. That's where beets come in. Beets are one of nature's richest sources of natural nitrates, compounds your body converts into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is what opens up your blood vessels, relaxes their walls, and allows blood to flow freely. Simply put, more nitric oxide means better circulation, and better circulation leads to firmer, fuller erections. And the science supports this. Studies show that dietary nitrates from beets can improve vascular health, lower blood pressure, and enhance oxygen delivery throughout the body. For men like Alan who aren't interested in relying on blue pills for the rest of their lives, this is a game changer. But it's not just about what beets contain. It's also about how they work in the male body after 60. As we get older, our body naturally produces less nitric oxide. That's one reason men begin to experience weaker erections, fatigue, or even memory loss. Beets help bridge that gap by giving your body the raw materials it needs to kickstart that internal engine again. I usually recommend beet juice for the quickest results, about a half glass, 3 to 4 times a week. But roasted or steamed beets work well too, especially when paired with healthy fats like olive oil, which help absorb the nutrients more efficiently. Some men even blend beets into smoothies with apples or carrots, creating a powerful circulation-boosting mix that helps not just in the bedroom, but throughout the day. Alan took the advice seriously. Within 6 weeks, he came back with a renewed energy in his eyes. He wasn't just getting better erections, he was sleeping deeper, walking faster, even laughing more. He told me, "I didn't think something so simple could make me feel like me again." And that right there is why I do what I do. If you feel yourself slowing down physically or sexually, know this. Your body still wants to perform for you. It just needs the right fuel. Beets might not be flashy or exciting, but inside that deep red root is a natural formula your body understands. It's not a drug, it's not a gimmick. It's food working in harmony with your biology to help you come back to life, one heartbeat at a time. And speaking of overlooked vegetables with powerful effects, the next one on the list is something Popeye swore by, but not for the reason you think. This leafy green does more than build muscle. It has a direct impact on testosterone and blood flow. And when I tell you how it works in the male body after 60, you're going to want to add it to your plate tonight. Let's talk about it. If you're still here and this message is resonating with you, just type the number 1 in the comments to let me know you're still with me and ready to reclaim your strength. Now, let's move on to the next powerful vegetable. Spinach, the erections and energy leaf. When most people think of spinach, they picture cartoon muscles or childhood dinners they tried to avoid. But to me, spinach is something entirely different. I think of energy, blood flow, and vitality. I think of one of my patients, Carl, a 72-year-old widower who had recently remarried. He came to me with a smile on his face, but a quiet anxiety beneath it. Shocked, he said, "I love this woman. I didn't think I'd get another shot at love in this lifetime, but I'm scared. Scared I won't be enough for her. Scared my body can't keep up with what my heart wants." That hit me deeply, because that fear of not being enough is something so many older men carry silently. But what I've learned is this. Many times, the solution isn't complicated. Sometimes it's something as simple as what you put on your plate. Spinach is one of the most underrated erection-friendly foods I know. It's packed with magnesium, which plays a key role in dilating blood vessels and improving blood circulation. And when circulation improves, so does your ability to achieve and maintain an erection. Magnesium also helps regulate testosterone levels, the hormone that governs male energy, strength, and libido. As men age, testosterone naturally decreases, but spinach helps slow that decline, supporting your body's hormone balance in a safe, natural way. But it doesn't stop there. Spinach is also rich in folate, a B vitamin that supports healthy blood flow to the pelvic region. Low levels of folate have been linked to erectile dysfunction, especially in older men. It also helps reduce inflammation, protect your blood vessels, and even support nerve health, all of which are crucial when you're trying to reignite intimacy. I remember telling Carl, start adding spinach to your meals. A handful here, a sautéed side there, nothing fancy, just consistent. He took it seriously. He added spinach to his eggs in the morning, tossed it into soups, used it in smoothies with bananas and almond milk. Nothing extreme, just small, steady steps. When he returned for a follow-up 2 months later, his energy was different. He said, "Doc, I feel like I'm waking up. I'm more present, more self-assured, and the other night something happened with my wife. No pressure, no awkwardness, it just worked, like my body remembered who I used to be." That's the power of nutrition. Not through crash diets or supplements with names you can't even pronounce, but through real, whole foods that communicate your body's natural language. Spinach may not be glamorous, but it's a powerhouse. A daily serving of this leafy green sends a message to your body. I still care. I still want to live well. I still want to love. And if you're still doubtful, I understand. Perhaps you've tried things before. Maybe you've been disappointed. But food, real food, doesn't lie. It doesn't promise instant miracles, but it can provide lasting change if you give it the time and consistency it requires. Now, we've covered blood flow and testosterone, but what if there was a vegetable that not only supports circulation, but actually helps clear out the arteries that feed your erection? Something that works from the inside out, like nature's detoxifier, and has been used for centuries to enhance performance and desire. The next vegetable might not be sweet or sexy, but it's one of the most potent roots in your kitchen, and its benefits extend far beyond the bedroom. Let's talk about it. Vegetable 3, garlic, the bedroom root. I'll be honest, garlic doesn't exactly scream romance. It's strong, it lingers. And let's face it, it's not something you'd want on your breath before date night. But let me share a story that might change your perspective on it forever. A few years ago, I had a patient named Ray, 74, a retired Navy officer, still walking with purpose, but behind his eyes, you could tell something was weighing on him. He wasn't sick, he wasn't frail, but he felt invisible. He said, "Doc, my mind's still sharp, but my body doesn't react like it used to. I feel like I'm fading, like the man I was is slipping away." I asked Ray about his diet, his routine, and then I gave him a suggestion that made him laugh out loud. "Garlic?" he chuckled. "That's what my mother used when I had a cold." And I nodded. Exactly. Your mother was onto something. But what she didn't know is that garlic could also be the key to helping you get back in the bedroom. Garlic contains a compound called allicin. It's what gives garlic its strong scent, and it's also what gives it its power. Allicin enhances blood flow, reduces arterial plaque, and supports better circulation throughout the body. And we're not just talking about your heart or brain. We're talking about the very blood vessels that supply your erection. You see, as we get older, our arteries naturally begin to stiffen. Plaque builds up, reducing the blood flow to areas that need it most. Garlic works like a natural cleanser, helping your vessels stay open and relaxed. That's the foundation of a healthy, lasting erection. Blood that flows freely without obstruction or resistance. But garlic doesn't just improve circulation, it also supports testosterone production. Studies have shown that garlic boosts the release of luteinizing hormone, which signals your body to produce more testosterone, the fuel for libido, drive, and sexual stamina. Ray was skeptical, but he agreed to give it a shot. I told him to start small, just a clove or two of raw garlic per day, chopped and left to sit for 10 minutes before adding to his meals. That 10-minute wait activates the allicin. It's the difference between simply eating garlic and letting garlic do its magic. We also discussed timing. Garlic is most effective when added to dinner. That way, it supports vascular health and hormone balance overnight, both of which are vital for those early morning erections men often lose as they age. 6 weeks later, Ray came back into my office. This time, he was grinning before he even sat down. "Doc," he said, "I didn't expect much, but I feel alive again. My energy's up. My wife noticed I've been more affectionate, more engaged. And last weekend, well, let's just say we didn't need to watch a movie to enjoy our evening." That's what I want for every man listening to this. Not just an erection, but a spark. Something that reminds you of the man you've always been. Garlic isn't a miracle drug. It's a tool, a natural, powerful tool that supports what your body already knows how to do. I always tell my patients this. You don't need to become someone else to reclaim your masculinity. You just need to clear away the barriers and let your body do what it was designed to do. Garlic helps you do just that, starting with your circulation and ending in the confidence you feel behind closed doors. Now, garlic may help power the flow of blood and hormones. But what if there was a vegetable that could quietly increase your testosterone? Not by fixing your blood, but by flipping a switch your body forgot it had. The next one doesn't look impressive. In fact, you've probably walked past it 100 times at the store. But inside this crunchy, simple stalk lies one of the most surprising secrets to male vitality, and it works faster than you think. Let's get into it. If you're still watching and finding these insights meaningful, type the number 1 in the comments to let me know you're here and that this message matters to you. Now, let's continue with the 4th powerful vegetable on our list. Vegetable 4, celery, the hidden testosterone trick. There's a vegetable quietly sitting in your refrigerator drawer right now, maybe buried under heavier groceries, maybe forgotten. It's pale green, watery, and honestly, it doesn't look like much. But if you're a man over 60 and your energy has dipped, your drive is low, and your confidence is waning, this simple stalk might be your secret weapon. I'm talking about celery. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Celery? Really? I get it. It might be just a crunchy sidekick in a tuna salad or something we spread peanut butter on. But the truth is, celery holds a secret most men don't know. It contains compounds that can help boost testosterone and subtly shift your hormonal balance back in your favor. Let me tell you about George. He was 66 when he came to see me. Tall, reserved, a former high school football coach. Shocked, he said, "I'm not the man I once was. I don't wake up in the morning ready to move. I'm sluggish, and it's impacting every part of my life, including the bedroom." I reviewed his lab results. His testosterone was lower than average, but not uncommon for his age. He didn't want injections or medications. "I just want to try something natural first," he said. That's when I introduced celery. Celery contains 2 powerful compounds, androstenone and androstanol. These are natural plant-based pheromones that can influence how your body processes and releases testosterone. They also play a role in how others perceive your masculinity. Yes, even how you smell and carry yourself. More importantly, celery is packed with vitamin K, which supports healthy blood flow and cardiovascular health, 2 things that matter most when you're aiming to maintain a strong erection. And here's something fascinating. Celery also contains apigenin, a natural anti-inflammatory shown to enhance testosterone production in animal studies. It doesn't force your body to do anything unnatural. Instead, it creates the internal environment where testosterone can rise naturally, safely, and gradually. George took the suggestion seriously. He added celery to his morning juice with apple, lemon, and ginger. He started snacking on celery sticks in the afternoon instead of chips or crackers. At first, he didn't notice much, but around week 4, something shifted. He came into my office, sat down, and said, "Doc, I've got my mornings back. I wake up with energy again, and my wife said she noticed I'm standing a little taller, if you know what I mean." That kind of transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens when you give your body the signals it needs to do what it was made to do. Celery may not be flashy, but it works quietly from the inside out. It supports your hormones, strengthens your blood flow, and gives you a subtle but steady lift, not just below the belt, but in your energy, clarity, and sense of self. I've had patients tell me they feel more assertive after adding celery to their diet. Not aggressive, just more grounded, more like themselves. And that's the beauty of it. Because the goal here isn't to become someone else, it's to return to the strongest, clearest version of who you are. So if you've been feeling disconnected from your energy or desire, don't overlook the simple things. Sometimes the smallest habits bring the biggest changes. A stalk of celery might be the nudge your body's been waiting for. Now we've covered blood flow, hormone support, and circulation, but there's one vegetable left that's unlike the others. It's not leafy, it's not watery, and it's not known for its romance, but it has something unique. A powerful combination of antioxidants and nutrients that lead to better fertility, stronger erections, and even sharper mental focus. It's sweet, it's crunchy, and you probably haven't thought of it as a bedroom food. But after this, you will. Let's dive in. Vegetable 5. Carrots. The fertility and blood flow combo. If I asked you to name a vegetable that improves eyesight, you'd probably say carrots without thinking twice. But what if I told you that same bright orange root, something you've probably eaten hundreds of times without a second thought, could also help improve performance in another area entirely? I'm talking about blood flow, nerve function, and even fertility. Carrots may not be flashy or exotic, but they've quietly earned a strong place in men's sexual health. I remember a patient named Frank, 71, a retired electrician from Michigan. Tough guy, honest eyes, hands that looked like they could still carry a ladder. But he came into my office one day with a vulnerability I won't forget. He told me he'd been married for over 40 years and still loved his wife deeply. "We still hold hands," he said, "but when it comes to anything more, I feel like my body just doesn't show up." His voice cracked. "I miss feeling like a man." That broke my heart, not because he was broken, but because he had no idea how much power was still inside him. He just needed the right support to bring it out. That's when I told him about carrots. Most people don't realize it, but carrots are rich in beta-carotene and antioxidants that help repair and protect the delicate blood vessels and nerves that control erection strength. Over time, oxidative stress caused by poor diet, stress, aging, and inflammation can damage these systems. Carrots help fight that damage, restoring balance and improving function at the root level. But there's more. Carrots have been linked to better sperm count and motility, even in older men. And while fertility may not be top of mind for most men over 60, it's not just about reproduction. It's about keeping your entire reproductive system healthy, active, and functioning well into your later years. Carrots also help improve circulation with their high levels of vitamins A and C, which support vascular integrity. And let's not forget fiber. Carrots help manage blood sugar levels, which is incredibly important. Blood sugar spikes and insulin resistance are major contributors to erectile dysfunction as men age. Keeping those levels steady helps preserve sensitivity, blood flow, and hormonal health, all of which are essential for performance and pleasure. Frank took it to heart. He started eating raw carrots as an afternoon snack. He began roasting them with olive oil and garlic at dinner. Sometimes he juiced them with apples in the morning, something easy to sip on before his daily walk. Within a couple of months, I saw a change. His energy was lighter, his tone was different, and when he told me we'd been close again, and not just emotionally, I saw something even more important return to his face: pride. That's what food can do, not in a single bite or overnight, but over time with intention. Carrots don't just support the biology of arousal, they nourish the emotional space where confidence grows back. For men like Frank, and maybe even for you, that confidence is priceless. You don't need a complete life overhaul to start feeling like yourself again. Sometimes it's just about giving your body what it's been quietly asking for all along. Carrots remind us that healing and performance don't always come from a lab. Sometimes they grow in the dirt. Now we've talked about 5 powerful vegetables that work throughout the day, boosting blood flow, hormone balance, and overall energy. But there's one more I've saved for last. It's not meant for your morning smoothie or your lunch salad. This one's for bedtime. It works while you sleep, restoring circulation, enhancing overnight testosterone production, and preparing your body for the kind of mornings you haven't had in years. It's simple, it's overlooked, and it might just be the most important vegetable on the entire list. Let's talk about it. Vegetable 6, asparagus, the one vegetable before bed, the final secret. There's something remarkable about what happens to a man's body while he sleeps. It's when our systems reset, hormones are produced, blood vessels repair, and if you're over 60, the nighttime hours are when your body either regains its strength or quietly drifts further from it. That's why what you consume before bed matters more than many realize. I still remember one patient in particular. His name was Walter, 75 years old, a retired accountant, polite, reserved, the type of man who didn't talk much about feelings, especially not in a doctor's office. But one day, after we reviewed his labs and discussed his testosterone levels being lower than expected, he quietly said, "I just want to feel useful again, like I've still got something to give." That stayed with me because I knew he wasn't just talking about work or chores. He was talking about connection, presence, and intimacy. So I suggested Walter try something different. Not a pill, not a supplement, but a simple change to his evening meal. I recommended adding steamed asparagus to his dinner 3 nights a week. Lightly sautéed, not overcooked. Just a handful of stalks drizzled with olive oil and maybe a pinch of sea salt. It seemed almost too simple, but here's what most people don't know. Asparagus is loaded with nutrients that work in harmony with your body's overnight recovery systems. Asparagus is rich in folate, which supports blood flow and nerve function. It contains glutathione, a powerful antioxidant that helps combat oxidative stress, the kind that damages the tissues responsible for achieving and maintaining erections. It's also high in vitamin E, which is strongly associated with hormone regulation and natural testosterone production. But the real magic of asparagus is how it supports the male body after dark. Testosterone is produced during sleep, especially in the early hours of the morning. If your body isn't getting the nutrients it needs during the evening, that hormonal surge can flatten. And that's often the silent beginning of reduced libido, fatigue, and the slow decline that leaves many men wondering where their spark went. When Walter came back for his follow-up, I noticed it before he even sat down. There was more color in his face, a quiet confidence in his posture. He told me, "Doc, I've been sleeping better, waking up more ready, not just sexually, but mentally. It's like something's been refilled." That's the goal. Not just stronger erections, but a stronger life. Asparagus works because it respects the rhythm of your body. It supports your natural processes without forcing or disrupting them. It doesn't just get you through the night, it prepares you for the next day and every moment you want to reclaim. It's the kind of quiet support that builds up over time until one day you realize you're no longer wishing for a better version of yourself. You're living it. Conclusion: your next step. If you've made it this far, I want to take a moment to speak to you directly, not as a doctor, but as someone who's witnessed how the right choices can restore a man's spirit. You've just learned about 6 powerful vegetables. No pills, no fads, no gimmicks, just real, whole, accessible food. Each one playing a unique role in helping men over 60 reclaim something they thought was lost forever. Beets, the deep red root that supercharges blood flow. Spinach, the leafy green that boosts testosterone and energy. Garlic, the artery-clearing food that supports circulation. Celery, the hidden testosterone booster that restores hormonal confidence. Carrots, the fertility and blood flow duo that repairs nerves and blood vessels. Asparagus, the nighttime powerhouse that fuels overnight recovery. Now here's where I speak to your heart. Maybe you're feeling hopeful right now, or maybe you're still skeptical. That's okay. I know this isn't easy. You've been told for years that decline is inevitable, that this is just part of getting older. But I'm here to tell you, it doesn't have to be. I've spent over 30 years helping men change the narrative of aging. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s turn things around, not by purchasing the newest supplement or following a strict diet, but by making steady, healthier choices and respecting their body's natural ability to heal, grow, and thrive. You don't have to do everything at once. You just need to start. Begin with one simple change. Add beets to your morning smoothie. Toss a handful of spinach into your eggs. Chop a clove of garlic. Pick one vegetable. One step, one moment. And let that be the beginning of something better. Because this isn't just about aging. It's about who you are. It's about feeling needed, wanted, and alive. It's about showing up in your relationship, not as a man who's faded, but as a man who still has so much more to offer. Your body hasn't given up on you. It's just waiting for you to give it what it's been missing. These 6 vegetables aren't just food, they're tools. And what you create with them could be the most fulfilling chapter of your life. Now, the next move is yours, and I truly hope you take it. Not for me, but for you. Because you're not finished, you're just getting started. If this message has inspired you, please subscribe and like this video. It helps other men like you find this message when they need it the most. If you know a friend, brother, or dad who could benefit from hearing this, share it with them. You never know how much one simple conversation can change someone's life. I'd also love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell me which of the 6 veggies will you try first. What part of this video spoke to you the most? I read every single comment, and your words remind me why I keep doing this work. If you believe in what we're creating here, real, encouraging health advice for older men, and want to help support this mission, consider making a small donation. It keeps this channel going and helps me reach more people who need it. Your journey doesn't stop here. It starts here. Let's take this next step together. Gentlemen, if today's video helped you protect your health, your confidence, or your energy, you can now say thanks in a special way. Just click the thanks button below the video. Your support helps me share more tips that keep men strong and healthy well past 60, and I truly appreciate every single one of you.